Join us for NIRMV Virtual Poetry Salute with our Leadership Award winner and Literacy Chair stepping up to the mic tonight as host. Give some snaps of appreciation now for Erica Dean.
As the literacy chair, it is an honor to be able to host tonight. And by trade, I've been sitting in front of a computer all day long because I teach fourth grade with Detroit Public Schools. So it was just again an honor to be able to help pull this off for President House and the NIRMV membership. And let's just have a good time. It is Friday night, and let's approach everything with an open mind and ears open, minds open to what our guests have to share tonight and what will be shared tonight in the tribute. And right now we're going to have a welcome by NIRMV Vice President James M. Hines.
Good evening. My name is James Hines. I'm the Vice President of NIRMV. It's my pleasure to welcome you to an innovative high-tech version of a NIRMV signature event. We have a tradition of presenting and supporting poetry jams. Pre-pandemic, our event venues were bookstores and libraries. Tonight, we acknowledge challenging times by going virtual. This step in a modern direction helps us to live up to the first word in our name. That word is national. Maya Angelou acknowledged, words mean more than what is set down on paper. It takes the human voice to infuse them with deeper meaning. We are grateful tonight to have talented poets join us from diverse geographic areas to share their creative visions and voices out loud. I'd like to give special thanks to the NIRMV creative team, making dreams for this event a reality. We're also grateful to all guests joining us tonight and continuing NIRMV's enthusiastic audience tradition. During this April National Poetry Month and beyond, NIRMV encourages everyone to keep on enjoying poetry and to remember to celebrate what inspires you.
Right now, we will have a dedication to Poet Laureate Naomi Long Madgett, and this will be facilitated by Darlene House, NIRMV founder and president. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Good evening. I am Darlene House, the founder and president of National Inspirational Role Models Visionaries, NIRMV. It is my honor to dedicate this event to an acclaimed poet, NIRMV Prolific Pioneer Award winner, and long-term supporter, Naomi Long Madgett. Her first poetry book was published when she was a teenager. At 26, Naomi's work was included in an anthology co-edited by an early mentor, Langston Hughes. Ultimately, she was featured in more than 180 anthologies. The Norfolk, Virginia native moved to Detroit during the 1940s Great Migration period. She served as Detroit Poet Laureate from 2001 until her death last November 2020. Other noteworthy positions included being a teacher at Detroit's Northwestern High School and a professor at Eastern Michigan University. But perhaps most notably, she was the founder of Lotus Press, dedicated to publishing minority poets. When I became the the president of Detroit Women Writers, now Detroit Working Writers. Naomi warmly pledged her support and subsequently became one of my mentors. As a popular event presenter, she will be missed tonight. In her honor, I have chosen to read two of her seasonally linked poems. One is related to gardening, and the other one is related to spring cleaning. But perhaps they both actually address a lot more. Woman with Flower by Naomi Long Madgett. I wouldn't coax the flower if I were you. Such watchful nurturing may do it harm. Let the soil rest from so much digging and wait until it's dry before you water it. The leaf's inclined to find its own direction. Give it a chance to seek the sunlight for itself. Much growth is stunted by too careful prodding, too eager tenderness. The things we love, we have to learn to leave alone. Pack Rat by Naomi Long Madgett. My trouble is, I always try to save everything. Old clocks and calendars, expired words buried in open graves. But hoarded grains of sand keep shifting as rivers redefine boundaries and seasons. Lengths of old string rolled into neat balls neither measure nor bind, nor do shelves laden with rancid sweets preserve what ants continually nibble away. Love should be eaten while it is ripe, and then the pits discarded. Lord, give me at last one cracked bowl holding absolutely nothing. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of the program.
Going to go on to poetry time, and I will be reading a classic poetry favorite, and it is found in the public domain. And this is The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. And what's very interesting is about Robert Frost is that in our curriculum for fourth grade English language arts, we had to explore poetry. And some people said that our students can't do it. Well, a lot of them do it. They might not call it poetry, but they know it as rap and rapping. So I do believe our students can do poetry. So this is called The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, and leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way. I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Again, words for inspiration, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. And now we will introduce poetess Gwendolyn Lewis. And I do have the pleasure and honor of calling Gwendolyn Lewis, not just before she was my sorority sister of Sigma Gamma Rho, and not just my sorority sister, but I call her Sora House. Sora House's sorority sister as well. We go all the way back to Mackenzie. And I love to tell this story because God is just so awesome how he brings people back around into your life. And I never thought when I was just in the library and she was there as a media specialist that our paths would come back together in such a phenomenal way. And she's truly been a blessing to me. And she's been a blessing to children all over Metro Detroit with her storytelling. And she says that the poems just pop up in her head. It's not a daily thing. It's only when she's drawn to a particular social ill or a feeling of loneliness. Her most precious poems are those that move her about life, how people treat each other. Once in a while, she develops a prose or song that accompanies her interactive storytelling journey. Gwendolyn Lewis uses those poems in churches, schools, and festivals. She has authored a book, Plant a Seed, Read, 101 Activities to Motivate Children to Read. The book shares activities to motivate youth to read and to develop a bond with the parents while completing the task. On a normal day, Gwendolyn, also known as Gwen, is an interactive storyteller and a national competitive race walker. And now you will hear from the poetess storyteller herself, my soror, Gwendolyn Lewis. Let's snap her up. Snap, snap, snap. Snap her up.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, it's just nice to be here, and thank you for that introduction. And as you see, Erica Dean as pulling things together, that's how she was. And this is what I had expected her to be, the kind of person she is. Thank you very much.
Oh,
I appreciate that.
Wait, just a sec. We have a raised hand of participant Hill. Anita Hill, did you have a question? Oh, okay. Back in, you have the floor, poetess Gwendolyn.
Okay. Now, she's right. I did share with her that it just comes to me. It's not, some people have a gift that they are writing daily. I may use my journal, but it's not something I'll say, well, this is my poem. This is a poem I want to use. So it is something that just, I say, pop up in my mind. What I also have noticed is that I kind of must be reflecting about some things that has happened in my life, because I'm always talking about kindness and people treating people right. Here's the poem I would like to share with you. It is titled, Can I Walk With You? It's dedicated to all who have been in my path in my 71 years. Now, as I began this, I thought it was for one person. And then oh my goodness, it's for everybody I have ever met. Can I walk with you? I want to be a part of your life. You share so many memories of my past. You have a way of making me think, to check myself, to encourage me to be the best that I can be. Can I walk with you? You inspire me. You taught me to ask questions. I used to read and follow up. I used to sing. I now fight for my deliverance. I used to strive for acceptance. Please accept me. I now strive not for acceptance, but for knowledge, guidance, and truth. There are so many people who have aided me in this journey. Males, females, Blacks, and whites. It's been a journey. It's going to be a journey. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on. I will stand, standing on 2 feet, to go where you want to go. Lead me, guide me along the way. Can I walk with you? Okay. Now, there's a poem that I wrote after I read The Mask. I was at a place giving a presentation for storytelling, and this lady showed me on her telephone about The Mask by Paul Laurence Dunbar, and it was also has a mixture of Maya Angelou in it. And I noticed that the first 2 stanzas are from Paul Laurence Dunbar. The rest of it is Maya Angelou. I read it, and it depicts that we wear a mask. We may have a mask at our job. We may have a mask when we are in mixed company, whether it's gender, whether it's a particular race, a diverse a group, maybe even at home. But we wear a mask, and I feel it may be for survival. And from that, I wrote a poem. Mask, mask everywhere. I go home and take it off. Who am I? Are you confused? What part will I play today? That's survival. It's the portrayal of who you want to be. As you see me, I pass you at work. I see you at play. I see you every day. I don't usually look like this. I may just be calling out for help. So much is going on. Who should I be today? Take off the layers and layers and layers and layers of life. When I go home, do you know me? Layers and layers and layers. My state of mind, my survival to win. Do you actually know who I am? Do I know who I am? Layers and layers and layers. Stop the medication. Stop the stress. Stop the depression. Stop the prejudice. Layers and layers and layers and layers. Do you know who I am? Those are two I appropriate to share.
Thank you so much. We snap her up. Snap, 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 snap. Very good.
Thank you for listening.
I think that was very, very timely. Based on what we're going through, and that's going to segue into our question and answer session about poetry. And the mass, when I was listening, I thought about, well, for me, just hearing so much negativity in the news about everything is so much, pick a topic, right? And sometimes we have to hide our emotions. We have to be so strong, and when you don't want to be. So that resonated with me. I really did enjoy that. I heard the doorbell ring. Do we have someone that's joining us tonight? Can you please identify yourself?
Jackie Butts.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. So we are at the question and answer session about poetry, and Poetess Gwen has just read two poems for us. And those who were able to hear the poems, if you have a question, this would be a good time to ask. We're going to do it teacher style. If you have a question for Poetess Gwen, feel free to raise your hand and we will call on you. We can sing together, but we can't talk over each other. I just heard the doorbell ring. Do we have another guest that's joining us?
Well, this is Glenda. I got kicked out and I had to call back in.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, thank you for coming back. So again, does anyone have any questions about the poems that were just read by Poetess Gwen?
Mm.
Poetess Gwen, I do have a question.
Okay.
Oh no, go ahead. Please share.
I was going to comment on the well, the first one, can I walk with you? So many times there are people, and we forget, maybe when we were as young as maybe 18 and 16, that they came and led us and gave us so much information, and then kind of disappeared in our lives. As we gotten older in the 20s and 30s, well, all the way up, there are people who walk into our lives and they give us so much information. And we need, I feel, need to just respect everybody who come into our lives, because as history goes, and sooner or later, we may have to pass that information on to other people.
Would anyone like to step into the circle, as we say, and add to that thinking?
Okay.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you think happened along the way? Was it just life? Did we just get too busy, or what happened?
You talking about the first line, the
Yes.
first one?
Yes.
As I said, for myself, I see it as I took time you have to sit, people used to say, slow down and smell the roses.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I did in front of them, I said, and kept on going, joining organizations and doing things. But there's people out there that are helping us, and we don't know it. Even this session right here, we're rubbing shoulders with people, we're talking with people, we're hearing what they have to say, and it's so important that we treasure the people and treasure the journey along the way.
Awesome. Would anyone else like to share? Okay. So
This is James Hines.
Oh.
I would just say that I completely agree. And not only that, it works both ways. Uh, uh, we not only are recipients of people blessing us through personal interactions with them, and that could be strangers, friends, business associates, or co-workers or whatever. But also, if we are open, we will find ourselves doing the exact same thing in their lives.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for lifting that. Is there anyone else that would like to share their voice, share their thoughts? Anita Hill, you have the floor.
Yes, I would like to say that I'm from Detroit, Michigan, Sora, Anita Hill, Sigma Gamma Rho Sigma.
Okay.
And I would like to say that I am enjoying this tremendously. And that I do believe that in going through life, we're meeting and communicating with people on all different levels. And I had no intention of doing anything other than listening and enjoying this afternoon. But the conversation, the poetry is so wonderful, and the interaction, I just had to say something. So thank you all so much for all the effort in putting this together. I'm enjoying.
Thank you, Sora Hill. I didn't know that you were my Sora. You were our Sora as well. So thank you. Rose Sigma is in the house, definitely.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Is there anyone else that would like to share? Okay, so we've actually made it to the closing remarks screen, and this was designed to go a little longer, but we know life happens, and we do hope that something was shared tonight that inspired you, because that's what NIRMV is all about. Something that you can take with you. And I'm going to definitely ask President House if we can do this again, whether it's 770 or 700 people on the line. Wonderful people that have joined us tonight. We're going to do like we do at the end of our choir prayer. Just give everybody a chance to wave and come off mute and say bye-bye. And again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we look forward to seeing you next time. And next time, hey, bring a friend. If are there any questions before we sign off?
Can you hear me okay?
Go ahead.
This is Shirley Berry. Just wanted to say thank you so much for opening up with my favorite poem, The Road Less Taken. And then Gwendolyn Lewis, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You really did a great job.
I have to thank President House. President House picked the poem for Road Less Travel. So thank you, Sora.
Let's travel. So
Let's travel, yes.
Hey, this is James Hines. I also enjoyed participating in this event. But in closing, I want to go off subject for a minute. Just say that I'm a COVID-19 survivor. My first cousin, David House, and was also a vice president of this organization, passed away from COVID-19. So I ask that all of you take the proper precautions to protect yourself, your family, and your community.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. And with that, I'm going to stop recording.